A very good morning to all the students of class 6. My name is Prerna and I'm your English teacher. And today from your English book Skyline, we are going to read chapter number 6. So let us start reading this chapter. So this is chapter number 6. And what is the name of the chapter? The name of the chapter is No Ticket to Ride. So let us start reading the chapter, that what is the story about. I always wondered how Jamal did it. He regularly missed the school bus, yet he was never late to school. In fact, he often reached before us. I have my special way of riding by buses, he would say. That was all I could get out of him. That and not a word more till the day I found out the hard way. So here's a small boy who's talking about his brother Jamal, and he's saying that Jamal always, he was someone that he missed the school bus always, but he was never late to school. And every time I asked Jamal that how do you reach on time, so he would say that I have a special way of riding buses, or I have my own way of riding buses. I'm afraid you two will have to go to the hospital to visit grandma without me. Now take number 22 to the hospital. It's a straight bus. You don't have to change anywhere. So this is the mother of two children, and she's telling both the children that you have to go to the hospital to visit your grandmother, and you can take bus number 22. It's a straight bus. You don't have to change any bus midway. So what happens next? Ma, interrupted Jamal Nasaruddin Alam, my brother, called Jamal for short and Jam for even shorter. No, my mother warded off his arguments. You are not going by taxi. Warded off means she just discarded. She simply refused to any arguments that Jamal wanted to make. But Ma, cried Jamal once more. No, you will not go by auto rickshaw. It is too dangerous. Off you go. My mother literally pushed us out of the door. So she actually pushed the two children out of the door, that go visit your grandmother in the hospital. Why don't you want to go by bus? I asked my brother as we walked to the bus stop. I thought you have your special way of riding buses. I have, returned Jam. Returned Jam means replied Jam or Jamal. The problem is you. Don't teach me. If I can learn to construct quadrilateral triangles and algebraic expressions, why can't I learn to ride a bus your way? You will soon find out. So Jamal is saying, I have no problem going by the bus, but I want to go all alone. I don't want to go with you, because the way I ride the bus, you will not be able to do so. So Jamal's brother said, why do you think like that? I'm so good at maths, I'm so good at geometry, I'm so good at algebra. I can ride the bus the way you do. So then Jamal says, okay, you will find out whether it's possible for you or not. So many people waiting for one bus, I whispered. How will they all get in? So now Jamal's brother is wondering that there's so many people on the bus stop. Is it even possible for all these people to board the bus? They won't, said my brother coolly, unless they ride the bus my way. And what is that? I asked irritably, sitting on top of it. No, hanging on to it. So now Jamal's brother said, what do you expect? That people will sit on the top of the bus and that is how they will ride the bus? So Jamal said, no. The way we are going to ride the bus is by hanging on to it. What do you mean hanging on to it? Hanging on the rear. All you have to do is to stand on the bumper and hold on to the bars at the rear window, and you don't even need a ticket to Right. So what is the way that Jamal suggests? He says that what you can do is that you can get onto the rear of the bus. So what is the rear of the bus? So when you talk about rear of the bus, it means the back portion of the bus, wherein you would have seen that there is a kind of a ladder on which some people hang on. So I'll show you an image how these boys were planning to ride the bus. So this is how Jamal would ride the bus, and he found this thing very adventurous and also very economical, because he said that I do not even have to buy ticket to ride to the bus. Gosh, I stare at him as if he was an apparition, means as if he was a ghost. If mother comes to know, she will never ever let you go to school. Not a bad idea. My brother smiled. Hey, he suddenly cried. There comes the bus. Get ready. Here we go. So now Jamal is telling his brother, be ready. Now the bus is coming and we have to get onto the rear of the bus. I felt sick. So Jamal's brother, I felt sick. When you say, oh, I'm feeling sick, it doesn't only mean that you're feeling feverish. It means that you're feeling unwell. You feel that, you are not, in a mental state also, you're not sounding fine. Jam, I groaned. I can't do it. Not for all the gold in the world. Not even for a hi-fi copy of my latest Michael Jackson tape. Not even for, what did you say? A hi-fi copy of the latest Michael Jackson tape, he repeated, cool as an ice cube. So now Jamal is trying to bribe his brother by saying that if you also get with me onto the rear of the bus, I will give you the hi-fi copy of the Michael Jackson tape. So Michael Jackson, we all know, was a very renowned artist, was a very renowned singer. I said, you don't mean it. Done, done, done. I cried before he could change his mind. He's very quick at that. Very well. Now when the next bus comes, all you do is to jump onto the bumper and get your hands on those bars. You follow? So Jamal is saying, have you understood what is to be done? I nodded and waited, secretly praying the next bus should never come or break down or get hijacked. Or, so now Jamal's brother is saying something should happen, but the next bus should not come, because Jamal's brother was very much scared. I don't pray hard enough. There it came screeching to a halt right next to us. Come on, Jam, gave me a fierce push. So Jamal, he pushed very hard. He pushed his brother very hard that now we need to get on to the hold on to those bars. The bus jerked to a start, throwing me hard against its body. So now the moment the bus started, Jamal's brother, he felt a sudden jerk. What is a jerk? So a jerk is, when you are it's a kind of a push that you feel. Okay, so now what has happened is that finally a bus has come, and because a bus has come, Jamal's brother is really scared. So let us see what happens next. And Jamal, he pushed his brother really hard. Jam, I whispered. I'm falling. You are not, came my brother's answer from very far away. Don't behave like a dumbo, Wahab. So what is the name of Jamal's brother? Wahab. It's so easy and it is fun. So Jamal is really enjoying this task, which is life threatening, which can prove to be fatal. What is the meaning of the word fatal? Something that can take away your life, something that can lead to death. No, it wasn't fun. It was a plain torture. And beside me, my brother had a whale of a time. Whale of a time means a very, fun, a time full of fun, enjoyment. Waving at motorcyclists and saluting the traffic policemen. He even started an argument with a lady in a chauffeur driven car who rolled down the glass and asked, "Do you know what what you are doing, children?" So there was a lady who told these children, "Do you even have any sense what you are doing?" So how did Jamal react to that? He started arguing with that lady. "You better get into the bus at the next stop or the police will catch you." Police? What if they caught us? I felt a hot wave of fear rise to my head. "Jamie," I pleaded, "let's get down at the next stop. I don't want the latest Michael Jackson cassette. I'm scared. Honest, I am. I'll pay your fare too. Okay?" So now Wahab is telling his brother Jamal that I'll also pay your fare, but let us get down on the next stop, because if we get caught by police, we are going to be in a lot of trouble. "Don't be a daft," said my brother. "No policeman has ever caught me and never will. I've been riding this way for more than 3 years." "Hey, you two," boomed a voice at us. Boom means suddenly there was a voice that came. "This is outrageous, atrocious, dangerous, and downright stupid." Outrageous means horrible, and atrocious means wicked. So suddenly there was a man who started saying these words to Jamal and Wahab, that what you are doing is horrible and it is wicked. The voice shook me out of my nightmare. So Wahab felt that riding onto the bus like that was a nightmare, and Wahab became all the more scared. A jeep was pulling up with us. Pulling up means this jeep now started driving parallel to the bus. I stared into dark brown eyes. "You get down from that bus and into my jeep at the next bus stop. You hear me?" the voice roared. "Sir," said my brother in a small voice. "Did you hear me?" bellowed the man. So the man shouted that, "Do you even hear what I'm saying?" The bus rolled to a halt. A massive hand reached for Jamal's shoulder and hauled him into the vehicle. And where my brother goes, I'm sure to follow. So, what is the meaning of the word halt? Means to drag something. And daft. So, when Jamal is telling his brother, "Don't be a daft," he's saying that don't be stupid. So, the person who was in that jeep, he actually dragged the two boys into his jeep. And then what happened, that it says, "Now sit tight." So now the two boys are sitting in the man's jeep. The deep voice rumbled. "You aren't taking us to the police station, are you?" asked my brother. A ferocious grunt was the answer. "Sir, we didn't mean any harm. I know riding on the bumper is bad and I promise not to do it again," said Jamal. "I too promise, sir." My voice sounded like a trapped mouse. So imagine how scared Wahab was. "Jam," I whispered, "do something. Talk to him. You got the prize for the best speaker last year, not me. Come on, Jamie, please." "Sir," he tried to get through to the silent man at the steering wheel. "I know what we have done is wrong, but we have committed no crime. That's why you can't take us anywhere without a warrant." The driver snorted disdainfully. So, in an insulting way, the person who was driving the jeep, he snorted. A snort is a sound that you make from your nose. The familiar parts of the city were behind us, and we had passed at least 3 police stations. So now, all this time, Wahab and Jamal was thinking that this man driving the jeep is going to take us to the police station. But that wasn't the case, because they had already passed 3 police stations. "Jamal," I whispered without moving my lips, "this chap is no policeman. He's after something else." "What do you mean?" Well, you can't see? He's kidnapping us. So now Wahab suddenly feels that this person is not a policeman. He's a kidnapper. Kidnapping us? Jamal's jaw fell. So Jamal was completely in a state of shock. Are you crazy? What for? For ransom, Dumbo? That's what they all want. So ransom is the amount that the kidnapper asks for if whenever they kidnap someone. But we are no millionaires. Papa doesn't own a factory or something. He's got the wrong people. He doesn't know that. Tell him, Jam. Come on, tell him. So now Wahab, he just wants Jamal to strike a conversation with this man in the jeep and tell him that please leave us. We promise we are never going to do it, but just please leave us. And specifically, if you are trying to kidnap us, we are not we are not children of very rich people. Sir, Jam gave it another try. Why don't you just drop us here? We have to go to the hospital to visit our grandmother. She's very ill. We have to spend a lot of money on her operation. All the money we had, sir, I supported my brother. So Wahab and Jamal are now trying to tell this person that we hardly had any money, and whatever we had, we spent it on our grandmother's operation. Yes, came the sarcastic reply from the other side of the jeep. No money in the family, no money for a simple bus ticket. I believe that. But he sounded as if he didn't. And my father doesn't own a multi-million factory. I chipped in. Chipped in means, so I also interrupted, and I also made my gave my viewpoint that again we are not children of any rich people. We have just one car, an old car, a very old car, and no money for petrol either. Isn't that so? No. So this man is saying, so you don't even have money for petrol of that car? No, I stuttered. I mean, yes, a bit, just enough for my father to reach the office. The guy was a kidnapper. He was after ransom money, but we had none. Nor had my parents. My mother had a bit of gold jewelry locked away in her steel cupboard, and my father had a stamp collection. It wouldn't fetch much. He would certainly sell it to buy our freedom, though it would break his heart. I knew it would. But even if he sold grandmother's silver plates and the old cuckoo clock, it still wouldn't be enough for gangsters. They would want big money. So now Wahab and Jamal are having all the thoughts of what a kidnapper would want from us, how much money would they demand, and now they started calculating the finances that they have or their family has. My heart sank. We were in real trouble. Sir, I tried now. My father, I know. The man broke in. So the man interrupted. Your father is as poor as a church mouse. He was laughing at us. I could make out. That wasn't fair. Hot tears of anger and frustration welled up in my eyes. Let me out, I shouted. Stop this car and let us out. Help, help. Stop at once. Sit, both of you. We're almost there. Big help that was. Rounding a corner, the jeep halted by the side of a dilapidated bungalow. Dilapidated means, something which is crumbling, something which is not in a very good shape. A rusty wrought iron gate opened into a small garden. Get in, said the gangster. Weak and battered by the long ride over pothole roads, I walked into the garden. So, what is the meaning of the word battered? It means injured. So, now the boys were mentally, they were very injured, and physically also. Get right in, came the slave driver's voice from behind us. The cool semi-darkness of the house almost blinded me. I could make out dark wooden frames of the doors leading into rooms on both sides of the hall. The big hard hand didn't allow even a moment of orientation. Or a moment of orientation means that this man did not even allow us to touch anything, or to have, at least to have a look at a clear look at what all was there in the bungalow. I It pushed us through one of the doors into the middle of a tidy room. Salman, he said in a voice gentle and kind. Salman, you have some visitors. And then I saw him. He was sitting with his back to us, bent over a writing desk. So you can see this boy, his name is Salman. Okay, and these are the two boys, Wahab and Jamal, and this is the man who got these two boys in this crumbling bungalow. He lifted his head and without turning said, "Oh no, father, not again. More of your victims? Two of them?" The boy wheeled around in his chair. He was Jamal's age. So this boy was of the same age as Jamal. He was handsome, he was strong. I wondered why he was sitting in a wheelchair. So this boy is sitting in a wheelchair. But then I looked at his legs. There were no legs, only empty trousers, legs dangling limp and listless from the knee caps. So the boy did not have any, part of the leg beneath the knees. "That's not the worst," said the boy quietly. "It's my back. I'm paralyzed from waist downwards." Paralyzed means completely unable to move. He looked at me and then at Jamal. His eyes were deep and dark. "You must forgive my father." So Salman is telling Jamal and Wahab, "You must forgive my father," he said gently. "Whenever he sees somebody riding a bus the way I used to when I had the accident, he gets upset, very upset. But he means well. Believe me, he does." So was this man really a kidnapper? No. His own son would ride the bus the way Jamal used to do. But one day Salman met with a terrible accident, leaving him paralyzed, and this boy Salman could not move or could not go here and there unless and until there was a wheelchair, and Salman at such a young age was completely dependent on others. What have we learned from this story? Now we all at some point of time have been involved into something which we say is very adventurous, but is it really adventurous? No. Something that we say is adventurous can also, as I told you, prove to be fatal. So please do not involve yourself into something which is really risky. Like most of you at the age of 12 or 13 or 11, 12, 13, you have you either you've requested your parents, or maybe you've been gifted a scooty. And how do you ride a scooty? We all know. So we ride as rash as possible, thinking, "Oh, I have the control over brake." Now you might have control over brake, but is it necessary that someone else on the road would have control over brake? No. And please do not put yourself into any kind of risk only in the name of adventure. Understand, your life is very precious, not just for yourself but even for your family. I hope you enjoyed reading the story and you're going to be really wise while you are traveling on the road. Thank you so much.